technical uh, things, but still if you need the recording, I'm just putting it for record. If required, we can use it. Okay, so our primary discussion is on 3D views and projections. Okay, so before we actually go into projections, okay, what we need to understand is object exists in 3 dimension. Okay, and we have to locate the object in such a way that we can relate it. Okay, for example, let's say if I ask you, where is your house? Okay, what do you say? Okay, my house is located from let's say my house is located let's say 20 or 2 kilometers away from railway station, and which is and the house is adjacent to a park, and the house is adjacent to let's say a commercial complex also. Okay, what do? We, in order to define my house or my location, I have to use some other reference. It may be some landmark, it may be some facility, or it may be some natural or artificial features. With these reference, I try to say that okay, this is where I am located. Okay, so similarly, any object. Okay, so if I say let's say this is a table. Okay, and I have my mobile here. Okay, so if I have to say define the location of mobile, how do we do that? Okay, we need to say first of all, where is this table located? Okay, and with reference to the table, we can say that okay, the mobile is placed at this corner, isn't it? So for any object, in any object in this world, if you have to define the location, it has to be we have to define in such a way that we give a reference to other elements, other objects, so that we define locations for a specific object. Okay, so we use the same idea here, same logic in 3D as well, to define where the object is located. Okay, so without going into much detail, what you need to understand is there are suppose if you take one let's say one 3-dimensional ball, and if you cut that into 4 pieces, okay, so we have one segment, okay, that will be this part. Okay, this will be the first quadrant. Okay, so if you take a globe and you slice it this way, this will be the one quadrant. Okay, so we can do the other way also. Okay, we can do the third way, and we can do the same thing in the fourth way as well. Okay, where by retaining any rest of the 3 part. Okay, so in technical terms, in technical drawings, what we do is we try to keep all our drawings in the first quadrant only. Okay, so many of you must have read about or heard about plan, elevation, front elevations, okay, side plan, all that you must have heard, okay, or you will be hearing time and again. Okay, and as per NBC, National Building Code of India, okay, we are supposed to prepare drawings, okay, assuming that the object in 3-dimensional space exists in the first quadrant only. Okay, so if it is not clear, just wait for a few more minutes and let me try to further simplify. Okay, otherwise just one thing that you should note down somewhere in your notes, that we make drawings on first order projection. What is first order projection? Like I explained it to you, if you see the three-dimensional object, okay, if we slice it, this is the first quarter of the slides. Okay, so any drawings made in at least Indian standards, okay, as per National Building Code 2016, the the drawings are supposed to be made in the first order projections only. For example, in US, they use second order projection. They use this second order. Okay, let's not go into that. Just remember that we will be making drawings based on first order projections. Okay, so what are projections? If we have not discussed what are projections. So if you see an object, okay, so let me draw it here. Yeah, let's say this is kind of a cuboid, okay, and we said we don't know where is this object located. Okay, so in order to locate this object, what we need to know is we have to project it in the sense we have to how do I say, we have to convert this three-dimensional object into 2D drawings, so that we can relate where this particular object is situated. Okay, so for example, let us say if I have to explain it in a further simplified manner, what are projections? Projections are nothing but, let's say we have Earth, okay, and let's say these are landmass, okay, and we know that the Earth is in 3D, right? We can't make three-dimensional. If you have to make three-dimensional drawing into, if you have to convert into 2D drawings, okay, we have to use a technique called projections. Okay, so projections are nothing but we use where we convert three-dimensional drawings into 2D drawings for better understanding or for further clarity. Okay, so why do we do that? It is actually part of actually a part of engineering drawings. What are engineering drawings? If you see, engineering drawings are drawings that communicates the idea or design. Okay, so primarily why are we interested in doing this exercise is to convey our ideas and designs, or any ideas or planning ideas or any design ideas that you want to convey to somebody. Okay, this medium is used. I often use this phrase which I say that for example, I'm communicating with you through I'm communicating to you through English, right? This is one way of communication, right? This is a medium. This is a tool or medium used to communicate with you whatever I have to say. Okay, so similarly we can use Hindi, Tamil or Telugu, any language can be used to translate or to communicate with others. Similarly, one of the language that is there with architects, engineers and even planners is the drawings. Okay, so many a times we communicate the ideas, strategies, concepts through drawings. Okay, that's our language. What is the especially for architects, we say that drawings are kind of a language in which we communicate. Even for planners also, we have, when you say you are making a plan, okay, a plan is nothing but you may see only 4-5 lines with some zones and so on and so forth. Okay, but it has got a lot of insight into it. Okay, we communicate through these plans, right? We say, what is this? Why have we done? Why have we made this here? What is the logic? What is the size? What is the shape? We have some arguments. We have some scientific and logical explanations for arriving at these layouts, isn't it? So, and we use the drawing, we use maps to communicate these ideas. Okay, so that is the bottom line on which we are discussing this particular subject. We are trying to communicate, we are trying to learn this communication, which is nothing but drawings. Okay, more precisely, engineering drawings. Okay, so drawings can be like, maybe sketching can also be one part. Sketching is also one part of your actually syllabus. You will be doing some sketching, this, that, that's fine. Engineering drawing is more precise drawings. Okay, where like somebody was explaining, when we measure it, we should be able to get the actual measurements. Okay, in sketches it need not be. Sketches need not be to scale, whereas engineering drawings and other things need to be in a scale, so that the idea is getting translated, and it gets translated for what the idea should be translated for implementation. Okay, so maybe you may have developed the best possible ideas here. Okay, if you are not able to communicate in a proper manner, you will not be able to implement also, right? At the end of the day, all our ideas should get implemented, right? So in order to have our ideas to be accepted and implemented in the neighborhoods and cities and buildings, what we need to do is we should learn this tricks of communicating in a much simple and much clear way. Okay, that's what we are trying to do in this particular subject. Okay, so this is all overall idea about what is drawing and why there is the subject is relevant. Okay, and if you go directly into the subject, okay, there are 5 components that is mentioned in your syllabus. Okay, the first one is orthographic projection, the second one is oblique projection, third one isometric projection, okay, fourth one axonometric projection, fifth and final one perspective projections. Probably you may have heard of this isometric projection, okay, and if not, you must have definitely heard of perspective. Not in terms of projection, you must have heard of perspective drawings, perspective views. Okay, so all this we will cover in this particular unit. Today we will focus on the first part, orthographic projections. Okay, so I hope I have made it clear. Projections are nothing but where we try to convert primarily 3-dimensional objects into 2D drawings. It can be vice versa also. Okay, we have 2D drawings and we want to convert into 3D. Both the ways are possible. All right. So should we proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Fine. So let's go with orthographic projection. Okay. So in orthographic projection, there are certain basic things that we should keep in mind. Okay. What is orthographic projection? An orthographic projection is a 2D representation of 3D object. Okay. This is the simplest definition that we can write. Okay. What is an orthographic projection? It is nothing but a 2D representation of 3D drawings. What are 2D representation? You can see here. Okay, these are representation of 3D object which you see here, right? So these representations are called as orthographic projection. So in a layman's language, plan, elevations, elevations, when I say all, front, rear, side elevations, all elevations that we draw for buildings are nothing but orthographic projection, 2D orthographic projections. Okay, so what we do here in orthographic projection is we have a three-dimensional object, okay, and we try to understand what do we see from this side, what do we see from top, what do we see from this side, what do we see from the rear, and what do you see from this side, or what do we see from the bottom. All 6 dimensions are possible. Okay, and once we convert that into 2D drawings, it becomes orthographic drawings. Okay, so an orthographic drawing or orthographic projection is nothing but a 2D representation of 3D object. Okay, so if you see in the same diagram, this is a 3D object we discussed. This is the front portion. Okay, and you can see if we convert this, let's say if I stand here, okay, and if I make projections, okay, if I draw if I have to draw as it is, what it looks from by standing here, okay, this is what you get to see. Okay, this is that triangle part, and you have some recessions, okay, and you have again another part that you can see here. Okay, so and also let's say if I look at from the top, what are the things that I see? This is the one step, this is the second step, this is the first step, and the second step. Okay, and the right side, this is the right side. If you see from here, this is the one face that I see, this is the second face I do see here. Okay, and in addition to that, you also see something here. What does it actually? If you see here in the right view, there is no such lines here. This is just an indication. It is a hidden line. Okay, I hope you have learnt about this. There is something called hidden lines.
No sir, ma'am was gonna teach us in next class.
Okay, fine. Okay. Hidden lines are nothing but, for example, let us say you already have, if I see from here, this is the only face that we get to see. Okay, let me do one thing. Erase all. Okay, so if I see here, this is the only part that I should be seeing, right? But in addition to that, you see this edge, okay, that is also drawn, projected here, and then drawn here as an hidden line. Hidden line means, for example, let us say if I draw a cube, okay, cube has got all other sides also, right? So for example, this side, this is not visible. So what we do, we try to draw in a hidden line. Saying these are actually behind, these are hidden lines. Okay, but what is visible to us is only this part. This is one face, second face, the third face. Okay, what is not visible also we try to show. Okay, just for some clarity, we try to show this. So and we use hidden lines as a medium. Okay, that's what is written here. That's what is done here. Okay, so an orthographic projection represents different sides of an object. Okay, so if you are given a 2D 3D object like this, you should be in a position to convert this into 2D drawings. Okay, I'm sure in your aptitude test this kind of questions you must have went through and you must have interpreted. Okay, so what we will do today, what we will learn in this subject is not not only understanding of how this 3D object can be converted into 2D just by looking at it and roughly drawing, okay, this is one side and this is how it looks. Okay, not in a sketchy manner. We will try to do in a more engineering manner. Okay, how do you use set squares, t-scales and set squares to construct this 3D in the first place, okay, and then convert that in 3D into 2D drawings, vice versa. Okay, moving further, like I said, there are 6 views can be created by looking at the object straight on in the direction indicated. For example, what are the 6 directions? Okay, one we have seen here. This is the first space. Let's say this is if I stand here, this is what I get to see. Okay, this is a 2D drawing we can draw for this. Okay, the second one, we can stand here and look at what do we see from this direction. Okay, this is 2. Number 3, we can also have top. From top we can see how the drawings are, how the object looks. Okay, this is actually called, what do you call it? This is called plan. If you see an object from top, okay, perpendicular, I hope these words are familiar. Okay, it should be perpendicular, not at an angle and all. We should see an object perpendicular in a perpendicular to the object from top. Okay, it's called plan. Top, from top. Okay, we can also draw the rear side 2D drawings. We can also draw the left side 2D drawings also. We can also draw bottom drawings as well. Okay, reflected bottom drawings and so on and so forth. Okay, however, there are 6 types of views. Primarily we use front view, front 2D drawing, top 2D drawing, and right side 2D drawings. Okay, so these are the only primary drawings that we use when we use orthographic projections, primarily. Otherwise we can make left hand side view, or sometimes we may use left hand side view if required. Say suppose if you have some specific detailings, for that we can use rear side drawings, and in fact for bottom also, if there is some specific detailings to be shown, it can be done. Okay, so to further simplify, how do we understand this projection? Okay, so initially what I said, if we have an object, okay, what we try to do is we say, okay, this is there. What we do is we have an imaginary plane. Okay, on that we try to project this. Okay, and then we try to say, okay, this is the object if I look at from this side. Okay, so this is the idea of projection. Okay, that's what we try to do. So theoretically speaking, okay, in order to construct orthographic projection, what we assume is we have an object. Okay, this is a 3D object that is shaded in dark gray. Okay, this particular part. We assume that it is in an enclosure. Okay, so when in that, just once again, yeah, in that what we do is, okay, we have an imaginary plane. This is 1, 2, top 3, rear 4, okay, and 5. Okay, so all this what we try to do is we just try to project the three-dimensional object into this particular surface, in order to get drawings. Okay, suppose if I have to get right side drawing, right side image of the 3D object, what we need to do, I have to draw it in this particular face. Okay, and if I have to draw what is the front side, how does the object looks in the front side, what I need to do, I have to draw it in this plane. If I have to do that for the top, how does it look in the plan view, what we do, we have to draw it on the from the top. Okay, so what we do is we try to put that object in a theoretical or an imaginary box. Okay, and then we try to convert this uh, into 2D drawings. Okay, so let me show it further. For example, let's say the same object has been, whatever you see on this particular face, okay, has been projected here and drawn. Okay, this is nothing but projected and drawn in the front face. Projected, this side has been projected here and drawn on the right hand side. Okay, whatever you see on top plan, okay, of the object has been projected and drawn on top of it. Okay, so these are the three drawings that we will primarily make for a given three-dimensional object. Okay, so let me move further and then come back if there are any questions. Okay, further explanation for the same object. Okay, this is, as like I said, this is front view. Okay, and I said these are further detailing. For example, let us say in three-dimensional object, this is phase 1, this is phase 2 and phase 3. Okay, phase, whatever you see here is this, phase 2 whatever you see is this, and phase 3 is this particular object. Okay, so we can label it, we can do marking. See, if it is an easy simple object, okay, so if it is just let's say just linear rectangle, it will be easy for us. Just you need to project it, draw, and that will be the drawings, right? However, if you have more complex object, we have to understand all the faces has to be shown in a proper manner. Okay, so once we project the object into the drawings, what we do is we just unfold that imaginary box. Okay, so let me keep it simple for you. This is the front part. Okay, here also you can note down, this is the front part, and if you go here, this is the front part. Okay, so what we do is we just unfold it. Okay, you have right hand side drawings, which is this. Okay, and we have top drawings or from the plan, bottom, left side, and this is the rear side. Rear side means this side. Okay, so what in orthographic projection, the idea is you have a three-dimensional object, you convert that three-dimensional object into 2D drawings. Okay, from all the 6 possible views. Okay, so so the underlying idea that you should remember in orthographic projection is you convert a three-dimensional object into 2D drawings. Why do we do that? For example, let us say you have to send this for construction. Okay, you want this to be built in a park. Okay, and let us imagine this is kind of a seating arrangement, something you have made, and you want this to be constructed. Okay, so how do we get to know what is the size, what is the shape, what is this height, what is this angle, how much is the width, okay, what is the width of this, what is the height of this, what is the arc length of this, okay, what is the height of each of these flanks, what is the depth of this, okay. So although 3D we can quickly visualize this, okay, we'll be able to, okay, conceptualize, okay, this is how it looks, but that's not sufficient, okay. We need to give more detailed drawings so that somebody who is about to execute the work should understand this in a clear manner, okay. So in order to do that, in addition to 3D drawings, what we make is we make 2D drawings, which is nothing but, in this case, it's called orthographic projections or orthographic drawings. The process is called projection, okay, and the drawings are orthographic drawings. I have few more slides and then we can discuss. When constructing an orthographic projection, we need to include enough views to completely describe the true shape of an object. Okay, for example, let us say in this case, okay, so in this case, it's not necessary that every time we have to draw all 6 drawings or 6 face drawing. What are 6 face? I think I don't have to repeat again. Okay, these are ways in which we can draw, right? This is front, this is top, okay, this is bottom, this is right, this is rear, this is left hand side drawing. In all cases, we don't need all these 6 drawings, okay. Some, like I said, most of the time we need plan, we need top view, we need front view, we need either right or left drawing, depending on the detailings available, okay. So at the max we need 3 or maximum of 4 drawings. Not all the time we need 6 sides drawings. That is what is said here. When constructing an orthographic projection, we need to include enough views to complete the shape of the object. It's not necessary that every time we have to put all the 6 drawings. And as simple as possible. More complex object means more views, more simple object means less views, okay. For example, let's say you just have only a 3-dimensional object like this, okay. What we need, probably we need a view from here, view from here, and view from here, okay. This side is going to be the same, rear side is going to be a box, right? Or let's say you have a 3D object which is, let's say there's some cut here, okay. So what we need is, primarily we need this because the detailing is here, so there is no point in taking views here, here and here, which is going to be just square, okay. So the more important views is this front and maybe the top, isn't it? Okay. So yeah, coming to this, so more complex object means more detailings required, less complex object, lesser views are required, okay. And like I said, standard views that is needed is front view, top view, right or left side view. I can put left also here because not necessarily that or always you have to draw right hand side, because let's say you have an object here, the detailing is on left, okay. So you can't go by this rule and you just say that I just want to draw right hand side. That's not the correct way. What I mean to say is any one of the drawings, any one of the left or right hand side 2D drawing, top view and front view is more than good enough to convey the idea, okay. And there are certain things that you should keep in mind when we draw in terms of line weight. For example, line weights and line types and line weight provide valuable information to the readers and printers, to the readers, to print readers, which means when you print it or when you give the drawings to somebody, there are certain things that that it conveys. What are the things? For example, let's say, is the features visible or hidden? Like I was explaining, if you have a cuboids, okay, firm lines indicate, okay, firm continuous line indicates that the object, this is called actually object lines, object which are visible lines. Okay, suppose if we have hidden lines, which, like I said, this is just to indicate the shape of the object. Hidden lines can be used to show the shape of the object. And also, like I think you have already learnt about dimension lines, right? What is the difference between normal line and dimension line? There is hardly any difference. Okay, there is if you have an arrow like this, or if you have if you have an indication like this, otherwise there will not be any difference, right? So we should be in a position to clearly indicate what are the different types of line used in the drawing. Okay, and sometimes what we do is we use this line types. Okay, let me clear this off. Sometimes what we do is we use just an imaginary line showing this is the axis, or it can be symmetrical line. Okay, which means for example, let's say you just draw only one half like this, okay, and you say that it is just a mirror image of side A. Okay, so which means here again we can use a line indicating different types of line indicating the difference. Okay, what the underlining thing is, there are different meanings for line type and line weights. Okay, let me give an example so that you can remember it for a long time. So for example, let us say you must have seen plans, okay, house plans. Let me draw a close-up drawing of maybe one part. Let's say this is one part of the wall, corner, okay, and let's say there's a window here. Okay, and the wall continues. Sorry about the poor drawing. I'm trying this sketchbook, the sketch pad. Okay, so I'm not getting the straight lines. I'm not used to also. Okay, so what you will see is you will see thick lines. Okay, that's shown as for walls. Okay, there will be thick lines for glass. There will be thin lines for elevation lines. Okay, there will be hidden lines. Let's say you must have seen drawings like this for showing sunshades. Okay, so which means the this object is above, it's not visible, but however it is there. Okay, so there are different types of line available and different line weights also available. Types, I think you must have realized it by now. One is continuous line. It can be dash, close dash like this. It can be with different spacing. There's a section line, something like this. there's a type of line like this. Okay, there are multiple different types of line. I think you will have classes on that also, maybe very soon. Otherwise, we will sometime discuss in detail about this as well. Okay, this is about line type. Line weights also. Okay, any part of the wall, any part of the drawing which is highlighted in dark means it is closer to the viewers. Okay, so what do you mean by that? So suppose this is the drawing table, okay, and I'm looking at from here. Okay, so closer object means darker lines. Further object means thinner lines. Same object, same concept is used when you do it here. Dark lines for closer objects and the object which is in sections. Maybe you will get to know more about it when there is an explanation on that. Otherwise, just remember that there are different types of line and there are different line weights also. Okay, that's why you have been asked used H pencils, HB pencils, 2B pencils, and so on. Why? H is used for construction lines. This is a different meaning, and these are used for object line. Maybe these are used for lines which are closer to the viewers or section lines. Okay, so all these things are also important in orthographic projections. Only then we'll be able to make meaningful drawings. Okay, I think with that I'll stop. These are other things. We have oblique projections, we have isometric projection, we have axonometric projection, and we have perspective projection. All that we will see in coming classes. Okay, so for so far, any questions, clarifications, and any further explanation needed, you let me know. I will try to answer.
So,
Yeah.
when we talked about front view, top view, and right view, it depends on our reference, right? That how we are looking at it, from where we are looking at it. If I am looking at it from the right side and you are looking at it from the front, you will think that that is the front, and I think that that is the front.
No.
So, is there any particular way of finding out how to?
No, in orthographic projection, this is the standard format. Okay, this is front. Okay, top is of course top, bottom. Okay, and to the clockwise, on the anti-clockwise side that you have is right, and you have this is on the left.
Sir,
Yeah.
if we can do all this with computer, then why we need to draw all this?
For better understanding, see, computers can generate in a much faster way. I also agree, but sometimes what happens is we need to have understanding of each of these lines. How difficult or how do we construct? Okay, so for that purpose we have to. We don't see what we will be doing is we may be doing maybe some cuboids, some pyramids, some different shapes. Okay, computer can do much complex object, but we should be in a position to understand if computer generates drawings like this. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, what does it mean? So in order to do so, if you do hands-on, you have more better understanding. That's why hands-on experiments or hands-on drawings is encouraged in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, any other questions? No, nothing? Okay, what I will do is we can take a break now for